Hey everybody! NES Tips is bringing you Gargoyle's Quest 2 today, the sequel to the Gargoyle's Quest on Game Boy. Yet another game by Capcom. What a great company. And we're off! Like any good adventure, you need to speak to the townsfolk to get clues of what you need to do. Talk to everyone and jot down some notes if you need to. Some of them will even give you useful items or upgrades in vitality. Keep it in your skull that sometimes you'll have to talk to them more than once. Using vials that you find, you can purchase extra lives called the Power of Maelstrom. They get slightly more expensive as you progress in the game, so get as many as you can early. You'll even happen across a boss in a town. The best way to fight him is to lure him in a circle around the room, getting off a couple of pot shots while he's moving. This is one of the more difficult battles, so keep your game face on. In the overworld, there will be certain criteria you have to meet to get by certain spots, which is why it's crucial to speak to everyone. Not certain which path to take? Here's a hint for this particular spot. The more north you go, the further your destination. By searching all nooks and crannies in the overworld, you'll find vials, each one worth 6 of them. There are quite a few to find, so be sure to keep on the lookout. There are enemies to battle out here. Each time you win, you get 3 vials. Most of them don't leave the screen after this, so you can keep fighting them over and over to stock up on vials. A few different enemies can be fought, and they're relatively easy. 2 mini-bosses await you in the overworld. One of them can be lured around, much like the boss in the town we discussed earlier. Turn around and blast away when you get a chance. The other requires a different strategy. Shoot him when he's at his peak to send him back to the ground. If you happen to miss, he'll get closer to you, putting his weapon in range. Once that happens, it's almost a mash fest. If using the soul stream you got earlier, you should be okay. It's important to learn how far you can fly with each wing level you obtain, so do some experimenting when you get beefed up. Wall climbing by jumping and holding against the wall is helpful also. If a gap is too long, you can try dropping and coasting on and off to inch your way closer. When dropping into unexplored areas, take small steps to see what lies ahead of you. You can also drop down and hover to check things out, which is just a little bit faster. Moving platforms can be negotiated by jumping towards them right when they appear on the screen. They'll pause and shoot, which gives you time to land and get positioned for the next one. Don't get overzealous though, you'll have to watch their shots. When you see bigger spikes or thorns, stay away, because it's an instant life loss. Fire has the same effect. Vials can be found in the side view parts, giving you more chances to purchase Maelstrom. Some of them might be in unique areas. There's also another kind of bottle you can get that enhances your vitality. Look carefully for these, one likes to hide. Some food for thought when you get to the mirror maze. Usually, the farther you go to reach a mirror, the more chance you have of navigating it correctly. Watch out for broken mirrors that house flying enemies. Speaking of enemies, learn to hover and destroy them. Jumping, then shooting, then dropping, and hovering is a good technique too. When you get the magic tornado, it will allow you to get to higher places, and farther, without flying. Note that only 2 tornadoes can be present on the screen at one time. One of the best items you'll obtain is the claw. This allows you to attach to a wall of spikes. This is necessary for the later levels and is very easy to use. It also does a good amount of damage. The bosses. While fighting Nagus, it's easiest to get on the top of the far left platform and just start pummeling him with shots. If he jumps towards you, either get on the floor or hover until he's gone. Death Balloon will blow bubbles at you, and you'll be pushed by the force of it. He'll also try to suck you towards him. Pushing the opposite direction of these will keep you safe for a moment. The prime attacking position is on the ledge closest to him. You can deal a lot of damage to him this way. There's a nice little loop you can use on Sand Frog. Float over his head and deal out some hits on him from the other side. When he sends out his minions, get to the far right block and go over them. Repeat the process from there. Twin Guardian is a very tough fight. To start off, jump as high as you can and float to unleash a barrage of shots immediately. You can usually do it twice in a row to off one of them. After that, attach to his side with something to keep sturdy and blast the second one. Use Soul Stream when needed. Don't fire at the doppelganger when he looks like Firebrand or you'll take damage. Just floating and shooting him will work wonders. His hits only do 1 damage to you, so take the hits and you should get by him quickly. Goza will destroy the blocks with his shots, so don't rely on those. Use the claw to attach to the spikes and jump up to fly even with his head. Fire, dodge, and keep an eye on your wing meter. On the last level of the game, you'll have to utilize just about every technique that you've gained and learned so far. Don't fret though, you can fly infinitely and have the most powerful weapon in the game, which can dispatch enemies in 1 hit. That's almost all of the enemies. You'll face King Brieger in the final showdown for the Ghoul Realm. You can attach to the floating platform in the middle. From there, do it like the Goza fight, even with his head. Move back and forth to dodge his shots and pelt him in the face for a while. He should be destroyed shortly. And that's all for NES Tips today, freaks. Make sure to work on flying while playing this game. It's your livelihood.